for these successes. Drawing on thousands of source materials, including encyclopedias, bibliographies, case studies, historical documents, news reports, and other scholars' published lists of popular revolutions, we developed a list of cases of nonviolent mass mobilization featuring at least 1,000 observed participants seeking maximalist country-level goals from 1900 to 2006. We did not count smaller campaigns or reform movements. After 2 years of data collection and vetting with subject experts, I ran the numbers. I was shocked. More than half of the campaigns that had relied primarily on nonviolent resistance succeeded, whereas only about a quarter of the violent ones did. Moreover, when I ran a variety of regression models that included features of the regime as control variables, I could find no systematic statistical association between structural features of the country and the outcomes of the campaigns. Generally speaking, nonviolent campaigns were succeeding more often than violent campaigns despite a variety of structural factors, like geography, wealth, military power, or demographics, that we typically associate with predetermining such outcomes. Stefan and I published our findings in 2011, which coincided with the height of the Arab Spring. In the 10 years since, many scholars have further developed research on how civil resistance campaigns develop, why they succeed or fail, and how they change the societies in which they emerge, producing important new debates and consensus about key questions. What's more, scores of new mass movements around the world have expanded the range of places where civil resistance is shaping history. This has refined our understandings of how nonviolent resistance works. Although many cases don't make headline news, the past decade, 2010 to 2020, has seen more revolutionary nonviolent uprisings around the world than in any other period in recorded history. In fact, there have been more such campaigns in the first 2 decades of the 21st century than there were during the entire 20th century. From Armenia to Sudan, from Belarus to India, from Chile to Hong Kong, from Thailand to Burkina Faso, large-scale movements have fundamentally reshaped the political landscapes of dozens of countries around the world. The United States has been part of these trends as well. The past 10 years has seen a dramatic increase in mass mobilizations in the U.S. From Occupy Wall Street to United We Dream, from Black Lives Matter to Standing Rock, from the Women's March to Families Belong Together, from Me Too to Protect the Results, from Justice for Breonna Taylor to Joy to the Polls, people power has affected the past decade of American politics in unprecedented ways. During this time, due in part to my research interests but mostly to compelling moral crises, I have evolved from being a detached skeptic of civil resistance to becoming an invested participant in nonviolent movements. I now study the history and practice of resistance with much greater urgency, for the sake of my own democracy and in solidarity with human rights defenders around the world. In particular, crackdowns against recent movements have led me to study more intently the historical campaigns led by oppressed peoples all around the world, as well as the lessons of Black, Indigenous, and queer people leading ongoing campaigns for justice in the U.S. As a participant or ally in anti-racism campaigns, the movement for immigrant rights, the sanctuary movement, the climate movement, the LGBTQ+ rights movement, and the democracy movement in the United States, I've learned a great many lessons from skilled activists and organizers. As a result, my own understanding has grown about the ways that people power campaigns develop, unfold, resolve, and transform. These lessons provide both inspiration and cautionary tales. This book may therefore seem both like an appeal and a warning. In particular, several emerging patterns are cause for concern for people invested in achieving social, political, and economic justice. The first is a disturbing global wave of rising authoritarianism, with countries like India, Poland, Hungary, Turkey, Brazil, Thailand, the Philippines, and the United States all backsliding toward autocracy over the past decade. In these and many other countries, aspiring demagogues have rolled back or eliminated civil rights protections for marginalized groups, assaulted judicial independence, threatened political opponents with imprisonment, bullied or persecuted journalists, carried out brazen attacks on